Bloxburg has been infiltrated with realistic houses. Everyone is building a realistic house in Bloxburg. And the thing with realistic houses is not only do they take a long time to build, they are also hella expensive. And I never thought the day would come where I would say this, but guys, I miss blush houses. I miss the simple times where people would build a house and it's just filled with pink, happiness, and good vibes.
I hate Vietnam.
Bloxburg has become so realistic. I feel like I have to start paying taxes. So today I'm going back to my roots and building a 2020 blush house. And it's gonna look stunning. And as a matter of fact, we're going to make the entire grass in my server pink. And that also includes myself. I am no longer emo. So let's get started. I feel like Barbie. Okay, anyway, we're gonna call this house Bring Me Back to 2020 when I was happy. Lol. So usually I suck at floor plans, but this is the only house where I actually know what I'm doing and I have a plan. I think it was either 2020 or 2022 when I built my first Bloxburg house, and I weirdly remember the exact measurements of this house. I don't know how, but I remember it. I'm not sure if it's 2020 or 2022, but I remember the exact measurements of my first ever house. Don't even ask me how, I just know. You know what's so funny? When I built this house, I'm pretty sure it took me like a whole month to build. Now it's literally gonna take me like 2 hours. The only issue is when I built this house, it was modern, and we're now gonna have to make this blush. I don't think I've ever built a blush house in Bloxburg before. Maybe I have, I don't remember. But either way, I don't know if it's gonna look good or bad. Don't judge me, guys. My houses are usually emo, so I'm not used to all this color. I think I'm gonna make this 3-bedroom because I swear every single blush house had like 18 rooms. I honestly don't know why you guys all made your houses so big, but I swear every single time I went past a blush house, they were having like 18 babies. Anyway, I think this is my floor plan. This is floor 1. We have the garage, the downstairs bathroom, the kitchen, dining room, living room, entry area, and then upstairs, the balcony, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3, upstairs bathroom, and the closet. So now that we have our floor plan all done, we shall now start making it a house. If you had a blush house, it was either modern or suburban. So we're gonna do like a classic modern blush house. Also, yous are definitely not going to trust me when I say this, but the back of this house actually looked good. When I built this house, I was like, why do I like the back more than the front? Can you believe me saying that now? I also want to have a lot of flat glass roofs in my house. I want to make sure this house has a lot of sun coming in. I just realized I probably should have painted this house before I added anything. And I'm going to have to paint every single wall around this house. Alright, this is what the shell of the house is looking like so far. Now we just have to turn it into a pretty little princess. Back in the day, seashell color, that was like the go-to. Everyone always used the color seashell. And if you didn't, you were a fake Bloxburg fan. So our favorite material and colors today are going to be horizontal planks in a seashell color and a good old classic white. This is already giving me 2020 blush vibes. Oh my gosh. This house is already such a vibe, I can already tell. Anytime I would go into someone's house, it would always be so obnoxiously bright, which means we're probably gonna have to do the same thing. These two walls are looking way too identical, so I think some pillars will fix up our little problem. I honestly can't wait to decorate this thing. Like, why am I unironically gonna end up loving this house? And what's like a typical 2020 blush garage that everyone used? I feel like this one right here. I swear I've seen everyone and their mother use this. Ooh, so pretty. I have to keep reminding myself to do the side of the house as well. Oh, and of course the back. Don't worry, guys. Why is the back of this house so far giving me presidential vibes? I feel like a president would live here. Oh my god, Alaska, paint the friggin' back of your house, woman. This is how easily I get distracted. I'll work on one thing and then I'll get distracted and work on another. Like, oh, focus. And we're gonna make sure the glass roofs on the top have a pink tint to them. And I mean, if this is a balcony, let's make this a grass color. And a fence up here because we don't want anyone falling off our cute little blush house. Not very blush vibes if someone fell off the balcony. Oh, please tell me they have those string lights. They do. Everybody used to have these, especially on their balcony. Like, if you didn't have string lights on your balcony back when you had a blush house, then sorry, you weren't cool. Another thing that everyone used to do, some people still do this, is at every single edge of a wall, they will add a pillar. I honestly still do this sometimes, but I remember it being really popular back when blush houses were a thing. So we're going to do the same same thing. At every corner of the house, we're gonna add a square pillar. And when you look at it from the outside, just make sure to fix it up so it doesn't look, I don't know, stupid. One thing I want to change about this house is this section over here. We're gonna make this out of irregular stones instead. I feel like that would look much better than just plain slate. There we go. Isn't that cute? Okay, so next up's the windows. Now, if you didn't have big, fat, modern windows in your blush house, you were an absolute loser. Everyone had massive windows, I feel like. I usually build from the inside out because I'm someone who cares more about the inside of my build than the outside. But I swear every single blush house looked so pretty from the outside. So we need to make sure these windows look good from the inside as well as the outside. Okay, not only did people just use modern windows, they also used traditional windows as well. But considering this is a modern house, I'm not going to use these for everywhere. Maybe just the garage to spice it up. And remember, the tint for the window is seashell. I don't want to see hot pink. I don't want to see sunrise. No, it has to be seashell. Capiche? All right, where's our classic frosted door? There we go. Oh, how we've all missed you. This door brings me back so much nostalgia. I remember back in the day when I would break into people's houses and they would hide right behind the door and they would act as if I can't see them. I'm not even kidding. I would stand right here and they would be right behind the door, literally ignoring me. Another color that everyone needs to use, especially for wood, is linen, okay? None of this flint. No, linen. Can't even lie. This house is already looking so cute. And using the same balcony that we added on our other balcony, we're gonna add it here. Okay, don't get me wrong, the back of the house is looking okay, but this little section here looks stupid. So we might just add a little extra roof coming out. See, that definitely looks better than whatever the hell this is. The front of this house looks cute, but I have a feeling it'll look much nicer with a balcony. This balcony is where everyone would wave to the poor people in Bloxburg, aka the people with starter houses. This is where you would judge them. And just to add a little pop of color in the house, maybe we'll change these pillars to wood. See, this is why I don't do speed builds, because I swear I changed like 20 things while filming this video. All right, so good so far. I might just make this window in the middle a little bit bigger, so then that way there's no gaps right here. And I don't know if I'm just remembering this in my head, but I swear everyone used wide shutters on their doors, but that was just the in thing at the time. One more thing this blush house is missing at the front is, of course, the neon lights. People would use neon lights so often that you could actually see them all the way from Pizza Planet across the freaking map. When I first started playing Bloxburg, I thought this was the coolest thing ever. I literally thought their house was floating in the air. It looked so pretty. But there was a specific way people used to place their lights. They used to place them on the edge of the roof, so then it looks like your house is glowing. I'm not going to add them on every single roof. That doesn't make it as special. For example, I'm only going to add it here. Oh, and of course the windows. We can't forget the windows. If your house looks like an insane asylum by the end of the video, then you should be doing it right. And if your house doesn't look like an insane asylum, then you need to add more LED lights. Also, I'm building this at nighttime, so I wonder what it's gonna look like during the day. Oh my god, that looks insane. Also, I'm building this at nighttime, so I wonder what it's gonna look like during the day. It is perfect. Another light that was super popular was the colorful string lights, except instead of making these colorful, they used to be linen and light orange. This house is gonna look like a frat party at the end. Like 2020 vibes, am I right? Okay, now for the most iconic bit, which is the front yard. Your blush house must have had a pool at the front. All the cool kids used to have pools and a lot of gardens. I swear all these houses had so many plants and trees. So wherever I would want to add my garden, I'd have a little roof in the basement. Okay, are you ready for this beautiful garden? I don't think you're ready. You had to make sure as well all the plants were either sand green or just any of these light green shades. Anything darker did not fit in the criteria of a blush house. The garden was the make or break of your house, so we have to make sure this garden is perfect. Okay, and after who knows how long, I have finally finished our garden, and because I have some spare room here, I'm just gonna fit a little fountain. And as I was building this house, I thought, you know what would make this blush house look so much better? If we built a little mountain with a waterfall around the house. I swear, I remember people used to do this all the time, and the reason everyone done it is so people wouldn't break into their house. So what I'm gonna do is add a wall around the entire base of the house and pretty much just spam trees on top, but only those ugly looking trees that every single blush house would have. And because we can add pools on the second floor now, why not add a pool right here? So then we can even extend this pool all the way out here. Back when I had no game passes, I used to be so jealous of everyone who owned a pool. I used to like break in and swim in people's pool. So if I done that to you, sorry. I don't even know what else to add to this pool, to be honest. Were bridges a thing? Let's add a bridge. And then a fat linen palm tree. This house is definitely giving me Malibu Barbie vibes. Because why is this low-key looking like a dollhouse right now? Anyway, we need to make sure to add a fence by the pool and then a fence gate here in case we want to go in. Okay, for the driveway, you already know what I'm doing. And if you don't know what I'm doing the most iconic driveway in a 2020 Blush house. Everyone had this driveway. This was just like the in thing.
This was the vibe at the time, okay?
It's kind of a replica of our current driveway, except the only difference is we had a fancy fence gate in the middle. This was pretty much to block out all the noobs from breaking into your house, even though I always found a way. Usually everyone would have these expensive doorbells at the side of the house. And if you were that extra bit fancier, you would have an auto door sensor at your driveway. So then every time you drove past, the door would open. And a build hack that was pretty popular, everyone would have a classic concrete house. And if you wanted to make it a little bit glam bam, that'd have a plain marking. So then your driveway had a little bit of a pattern. Oh, and you thought I was done? No. Just to be that little bit extra, people would even add square stepping stones in the middle of their driveway. I swear it was a competition of who could have the coolest driveway. And then, spoiler alert, that's what everyone's driveway looked like. And then to light up your driveway, I usually added these bollards. This is so you didn't accidentally drive into a child, or worse, your house. Okay, and last but not least, we have the footpath. Something that I've noticed that a lot of old houses have and new houses don't. Back then, houses were so interactive. For example, take your front yard. I swear every single Blush house had so many things at the front yard. The houses actually look like a home, believe it or not. Anyways, for our footpath at the front yard, we're going to use these large stepping stones. Because the cool thing with these is you can actually change the size of them, which makes it look so much cooler than a regular boring footpath. Now, the last thing we have is the backyard. We need to make sure we have a humongous pool, a pool that makes everyone else jealous of our pool. I don't think yous are ready for this beauty. I'm gonna do the exact same thing I done when I built a backyard in my Blush house. I had somewhat of a big undercover section here, and then right underneath I had lighting, a basic shape right in the middle. On the top I had a massive painting, huge DJ speakers on the side, and of course waterfalls all at the back here. And then you can turn that into your TV and you got an outdoor cinema. And then I usually added a layer of flooring around my pool. Also, now that I think of it, can you guys remember the last time anyone had a super detailed pool? I swear nobody adds stuff into their pool nowadays. So to make sure we don't do the same thing, we're gonna add a ton of stuff in our pool. Like I'm talking unicorns, ducks. Sure, we'll even add a hot dog, but definitely not adding this duck. Why the hell is that $13,000? Oh, this pool is such a vibe. No offense, duck, but I'm getting rid of you. You're ruining the vibes. Next up, some umbrellas so we can go for a little tan. Oh yeah, you wouldn't even be able to convince me to get off here. Summer just ended and this is already making me miss summer. I want to make sure we have a lot of just random stuff because most Blush houses were roleplay houses, so they had families and maybe a little barbecue as well, which means we're most likely going to have a table out here as well. Now, the house is nearly done, but I have the best idea ever. Everything I said about this wall, we're getting rid of, okay? I'm sorry. We're getting rid of it. I thought of an even cooler idea to what I was originally going to do. Instead of making this one story, we're going to make it two. And instead of having a tiny little screen, we are going to have a commercial movie theater screen. Why? Because we can. Which means part one of our Blush house is finally complete. So now we can finally have a look at, oh my God. Guys, I have trapped myself inside of my house. I can't get out. What have I done?
But imagine how tired we are. Imagine how tired we are of it.
Okay, that's better. So our Blush house is complete. The total is $251,000 and we still have to decorate the inside, but that's okay. So this is what the outside looks like so far. It honestly looks like such a vibe. Even though I make fun of Blush houses all the time, look how cute she is. Just by the inside, you can tell it's gonna be so cute. I can't wait to decorate this thing. Now, over here, we have the most dramatic backyard I think I've ever done in my life. We have a basketball basketball court, a massive swimming pool, sun chairs, outdoor seating, and of course, the largest movie theater you could have in your backyard. Look how big this is! I can like smell Gordon Ramsay from here. This honestly looks so cool. Like what? Imagine having a group of friends over and this is the TV in your backyard. So I hope you enjoyed part 1 of my blush house. I can't wait to finish it. So let me know if you want to see part 2 and I will see you in the next one. Bye!